Brand Minds presents Global Thinkers About AI in the Business World. Erin Meyer, organizational culture expert, how culture mapping helps businesses.
We have a system that I call culture mapping to help you adapt your style to the culture that you're working with in order to improve your success. So this is a system that breaks culture down into 8 behavioral scales. We look at things like how do you build trust differently in different cultures, or how do you make decisions in different parts of the world. And then through about 180,000 interviews that we've conducted in about 62 countries, you can click on whatever country you're working with, and you can see that you can compare your culture to that culture and understand a little bit about how to be more effective. So for example, if you need to give advice to, if you're giving a presentation to someone in China, you can look up, you can look at the persuading scale, and you can see, how would I persuade differently in China versus in Romania? And then that gives you some ideas for how to be a little bit more strategic. Or if you need to give feedback to someone in Brazil, then you can look at the feedback scale and you can see, I see they're a little bit less direct than we are in Romania, so maybe I need to be a little bit softer in the way that I give the feedback. So that's what the culture mapping allows you to do now. You can click on whatever country you're from, whatever countries you're working with. You can do the comparisons. And then you can also read a little bit about what each of the scales means, and that gives you several hints and ideas for how to improve your success.
How culture mapping changes with AI.
With AI, the discussion about international collaboration will be taken to a whole new level. So in the future, we're working on tools where, let's say, for example, that you want to send an email to a group in the UK in order to encourage them to look at your product. You'll be able to put into the system the email. Maybe you say, okay, I'm from Romania and my target audience is British people in London. And the AI will look at your email and it will give you some advice. So maybe it will say, okay, well, you can be a little less formal in your greeting, because in Romania, you tend to perhaps put a little bit more formality in the email, a little less in the UK. And then it might look at some of the other things, like it might say, okay, well, in this part of the email, you can be a little bit less focused on building the personal relationship, because in the UK, they tend to be a little bit more task-oriented, so get a little bit more to the point. And AI will not just tell you what's going on culturally, but will also actually rewrite the email for you. We're also, after that, hoping that we can do things like maybe if you're actually preparing a presentation, maybe that email to your potential client in London works. And then you get an opportunity to go to London and give a presentation about your product. And maybe you put the presentation into AI, and AI will say to you, okay, this is what will really work about the presentation. Now, please recognize that here you're giving a little bit of a criticism to something that the client has sent you. You need to be much softer in the way that you provide that criticism, because in the UK, they're a little bit less direct with negative feedback than in Romania, and because they express disagreement in a less direct way. And AI will actually give you some advice for how to organize the presentation differently and put some of those reorganizations right in there for you to accept or decline. So this is the future of cross-cultural collaboration, and something that we're very excited and just getting started on working on now.
Stay tuned and discover more about AI at Brand Minds 2024.